use these and break them up and put them on a page. And eventually I will probably merge this into this, so it will say, what's my IP? You're located in Hillsboro. Here's a map down here. Here's the weather at the closest airport. So these Metar strings are released every 15 minutes. They're just a string of text, as you can see right here. Where I have, for the Metar field, it's just the string of text. And what pilots do is they look at the string of text on a reader, on their phone, on something, and say, okay, well, at JFK, at this date, you know, the 30th, it is 1651 Zulu time. We can see the wind is at 170 degrees, 10 knots. Visibility is 10 statute miles. We've got scattered clouds at 15,000 feet. We've got scattered clouds at 25,000 feet, etc. And they just kind of read these fields to know what the general weather is. So what I wanted to do is put that in down here into human readable format. So we can see it's the 30th, it's 1651 Zulu time. Our wind speed is 10 knots. All of these things are broken up for us so that we don't have to read this text string and try to interpret it. We can see scattered clouds at 15,000. One of the things that I need to do today is we have multiple cloud reports here. You can see SCT, SCT. So we need to look for a pattern in these and pick that out and say, oh, we've got 2 cloud reports. So it's going to be a little challenging today. And we have our temp and dew point, which is 28.23. Altimeter is 29.9, etc. We're going to put all of this stuff in here in readable format. And then to make things fun, we're going to throw in some international ones. So let's jump in. We'll go into where we were last week, which I haven't touched this code or even really thought about it since then. So it's a refresher for me also. Now I know in here we have if Metar count is greater than 1, we loop through it. So what I was doing is I was taking the string, breaking it apart, and assuming the fields by the field order into Metar. However, it's flexible, and that's one of the things that causes problems here. We have here's a sample Metar right here. It's a variable amount of fields. If there's no rain, it's not going to show rain. If there's no clouds, it's not going to show clouds. And so we can't really assume that these fields are like locked in to a certain index. So what I do is I just for loop through them. So for loop through however many fields are in there at the time. And I think, yeah, I got get Metar for JFK. So we can just go through here and load it up. And yeah, this is an interesting problem that others have solved, but we're solving it for learning purposes to see how we can solve this with Blazor. Now you can see here we have 18 fields, so we can't really assume that the fields are going to be the same every time. I'll try my local airport, which is KHIO. It's the Hillsboro Airport. And we'll see what that one shows, if it has 18. And I need to set my breakpoint. Where are we here? There we are. And for some reason, it's taking a long time to load today. Okay, and you can see here that Hillsboro is 14. So we have variable fields that we need to account for. And so one of the things I thought that would probably be the interesting but good solution is to just start pattern checking some of those. Now here we're looking for cloud cover. And I put a question mark after each of these. Wind, question mark, because it might be wind, it might be shifted. When we go to international, it might be something different. The airport code, ID, and date time are always the same, but wind is a little bit different. So what we're doing here is if it ends with KT, that means knots, then this must be wind data. It's a little rough, but we could pretty much assume if the field contains KT, then it's probably weather or wind. And then we had visibility. This one, I don't think I'm doing any check. No check on visibility, mostly because it is, and we can put a check in here really quick, but mostly because this field's pretty much always in the same spot. So we'll say if Metar data 3 ends with, and this will be SM for statute miles, then we know that this is a visibility thing. And I still haven't fixed my weird issues with this IDE. This is the only thing I've used this IDE for, is this project on this stream, and for some reason it has been a little strange. So here's our if statements. I need another, there we go. So if it ends with SM, then it must be visibility. And we'll throw something else in when we get an else. We'll handle it when it contains something else. Another thing I thought of doing is building a function that just passes every single one of these fields into that function. And then that function looks at it and says, oh, you have SCT at the beginning. This must be for clouds. And oh, you have SM at the end of it. It must be this. And then just looping through and calling that function. So I think that might be a really interesting way to do this. For now, let's throw in our if statements, and then maybe we'll take all of those and we'll abstract it to a function and see if we can cut our code down. One of the things I love to do, and I think most developers love to do, is delete code. I love deleting code. So, as I build this and refactor it and we go along, it's kind of like a first draft. And the more code I end up deleting, the smaller I make it, the better. We'll be doing a little code golf, if you will. So this one, we're saying, is it cloud cover? Now here's one of the things that we need. So we have SCT for scattered clouds, which it almost always is right now, it seems like, this time of year. However, we have other ones that are available that we should probably look at. Here's an example Metar Visibility. Oh, that's what I was looking for. So we have weather phenomena that we're going to have to account for, all of these. Let's see. Differences, rain, clouds. That's what I was looking for, clouds. Cover and octals. So there's going to be 4 different types that we need to look for. Few, scattered, broken, overcast. So I'll drag this over here. And we can actually hard code. I've been hard coding some of these metars in here just to build some edge cases, right? So like I'll stuff these things in just to make sure that it sees the value and changes it appropriately. Now, what I should do here is probably a switch statement. I know a lot of people hate switch statements. I don't hate switch statements, so I'm going to put one in. But what I'm going to do is say arm10 substring. We already have a cloud data. We just need to substring it. If equals, let's see. I don't think I can switch on a substring. I'm going to try it though. It's been so long, I'm not really sure if you can do this. But I'm going to try it. That's one of the IDE things that I was talking about. Sometimes I'll hit enter and it just shifts the whole thing and flips it. I have no idea why. I guess it's going to have to be switching on the string. Okay. We're going to throw this in here. All right. Perfect. Let's see if the substring works like we think it should. Make sure I don't have any breakpoints. Because this might be kind of a cool way to not have a million if statements in there. And I don't see anything for clouds, and I see an error. So probably not, right? Input string was not in a correct format. And that is 165, which is probably right where we're at, right? 165, yeah. So, let's see. String, substring 3. Oh, that's for our cloud data. So that might not have anything to do with this, but we're going to find out. A little process of elimination here. Let's get rid of this altogether, and let's run it again. Says, let's see, message in the chat here. For some reason, I see a black screen. I'm not sure why that might be. Let me do a quick tech check here. I also see, let's see. I did see a black screen there for a minute, so I wonder what's going on there. We are multi-streaming to multiple different locations, so if it shows up, hello from Florida, hello from Louisiana, people from all over, hello. So if this does show up as a black screen, try going to our Twitch channel or our YouTube channel, and I will I'll paste those in the chat if LinkedIn isn't working. That's the YouTube link. And here is the Twitch link. Which brings me to a good point here. Most of our streams are going to be going on the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Pluralsight Live. So we're streaming to LinkedIn and we're streaming to YouTube and a whole bunch of different places, but we're mostly going to focus on Twitch. So follow us on our Twitch channel and you'll always see our streams all the time, myself and David Niels. Fun, good time, happy streams. Okay, put strings still not in the correct format. So something has broken here. Now we did change KJFK to KHIO. Let's see if that contributed to it at all. I don't think so, but it's possible because we've got those fields shifting all over the place. This will be an interesting new problem for us to tackle, right? So that is a problem. So KHIO has a different amount of fields than, has basically a different amount of fields somewhere there, so it wasn't able to process it. So now we have our few clouds. Let's finish the thought that we were working on there where I was going to strip those letters here and then we'll go back and see why switching to KHIO switched and broke it from KJFK. So if FCT scattered. We're going to put some of these cases in here. And that one says few. So I'm going to grab that list here. We have several of these, but not too many. So if it is few, and if it is BKN, it's broken. And then we need one more. Oops. This next one is going to be OVC for overcast. These are the possible values that we can have here. So we'll dump those in. Hello from Colombia. Hello. That's pretty awesome to have such a worldwide audience here today. I'm glad you're not all from Hillsboro. Okay, we'll format this. All right. Now let's run it again, and we'll see if our little switch statement works here. Keeps popping up on the other screen. There we go, few. And you can see that few is undercase or lowercase. So we know it's bringing up exactly what we want it to bring. Few at 9,000. Cool. And I think we're adding some zeros on here. I need to double check that really quick. No visible cloud cover, otherwise clouds, cloud cover. Okay. So we're just taking that and saying our Metar cloud cover, scattered view, etc. And then we'll have, then we add on elevation times 1,000 to string. So each of these, as they're in the Metar, and it'll show here. I do see some special codes that I might want to put in there. Yeah, I'm going to put in the special codes also. But in here, see where it says it's supposed to be times 100. I put times 1,000. But it says few 007. That means few clouds at altitude of 700 feet. So I need to multiply that by 100. And then let's put in these other edge cases here really quick. Looks like there is 5 more. And we want all 5 of them in here. So we've got overcast. We've got NSC, which is no cloud cover. It's no significant cloud cover. Which will cause a problem because we are multiplying this. So if it says NSC, then it's not going to have an altitude. So we're going to have to do a count on it before we try to multiply a value that's not there. Sky clear. NCD. No clouds measured. CLR. No clouds below 12,000 feet. And that would be from automatic weather stations, it says here. And then OVC, we already have OVC. So this will be fine. Now let's run it. Let's see what happens. Yes, I do still hit the arrow instead of F5 most of the time. I don't know why. Okay, cool. We have few clouds at 900 feet. Perfect. Let's see, few 009. That's correct. So few clouds, 900 feet, a few at 2,500, a few at 16,000 scattered. So now we need to figure out how to go through all of these. So we may have to build that function soon. Because I'm trying to think of a good way to do this without repeating it so we're going to go to index 5, and we know it's going to have this exact same information. So when we go to 5, we can't really, when we go to 5, we can't really repeat all of this each time. So let's start looking for a pattern. I equals 3. We're going to say down here, we can remove all of this. This was from a couple weeks ago stream where we tried something different with the for loop. And so we're sticking with the for loop. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. See, and I'm happy because I deleted code. Always happy to delete code. This one's going to be another private void. Get report type string, not capital, string Metar field. Now we could just do get report type. We could actually call this store report type because I think I want to store it in the exact same field. So we are going to, let's think about this for a minute. I'm going to put in my comments since other people are watching. And so I'll, instead of just thinking in my head, I'll put in the comments what we want this to do. Look to see what type of report it is. Store it accordingly. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw this Metar field in here. And we're going to try it with this one. And we're going to say if it looks like it's a weather report, then we're going to treat it as a weather report. And we're going to append it onto this field. Hello, Ritesh. Thank you for joining. Thanks everybody for joining and hanging out with me through this wild project I've got here. This is going to be fun. There's a lot of Metar decoders out there online, so I know this problem's been solved many times over, but it's fun to come up with our own twist and our own way to solve it. And I'm going to open source this project and put it out for everyone. I think eventually this Metar reader will be a class library, is what I'm envisioning. I'll just have this as a class library so you can throw it on your website, throw a Metar into it, and have it spit back everything the way it should look on a website. So that might be something that you could actually use elsewhere. And today's stream is powered by ice water. It's good stuff. It's still hot out here. As you'll see by our weather reports, it's still a little warm. So for all of this, I'm going to pull all of this into our new function. So we're going to say cut. I'm going to say get report type from, it would be Metar data 4. Metar data 4. And eventually, I think I'll probably, I don't know if I'm going to break it. We'll see how big this function gets. If this function gets huge, then I might break it into getting the report type and storing the report type. For now, it's going to do both. So here, format this a little bit here. And now instead of Metar data 4, it's going to be Metar field. We're going to trim it. And our Metar cloud cover equals cloud data. I don't think we want to do that yet. Because we're trimming the Metar field for cloud data. Just run this really quick. Just a quick sanity check. View 900. So I want to see what this Metar field looks like when I receive it. Because I know I put this here, but I don't remember. Cloud data is null. Step forward. Now it's view 009. Okay, so I'm trimming it. And then we're saying cloud cover, which is a separate field, right? Nope, it's the same field. Elevation. So I'm wondering why I'm not repeating a lot of this. Because see, I have it where it says cloud data is view 009. Oh, I see. I'm just overwriting it completely. That makes sense. So this, we don't even really need to do, I'm pretty sure. Because I'm just overwriting the value. I don't know why I did that. Go through here. We'll just continue. Yeah, view 900. So this is useless. That was probably from an earlier attempt. So now we're trimming it. It says view 900 for our testing. So we break it and say, oh, view. Then let's add into cloud cover the word view. And let me just put a space after each of these ones that are going to have, like view scattered and broken should all have spaces after them. So it says view and then 900. So get report type. I'm going to break this into yet another function now that I think about it. So we're going to take this cloud data, substring 3. Trying to think of what I'm trying to do here. So we're going to take this and say var first 3 equals, and it's going to be Metar field substring 3, and we'll take this, we'll say switch first 3. That saved us a little bit there. I think what I'm looking for is, let me try if I'm going to try to see if this is not a number. So if it's a string, And I don't want to have to use regex if possible. I know we can do is letter, but I don't know if I want to do that either. It's been a long time since I've done something like this. Verify a string only contains letters, so I'm totally on Stack Overflow right now. Yeah, it's going to be regex. Okay, well, I'm going to copy and paste from Stack Overflow and do a regex. This is at least a regex string I understand, but if it gets more complicated, oops, first three, then I definitely have to Google and test. And we need to add regex in here for this to work. Let's hope this works in Blazor. Before I even try it. I don't know. Let's see what the .NET regex library. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what library it comes from. System.text.regular expressions. That's right. That should work in Blazor. I would think a library like that. So with where are we at? Here we go. Regex max first three. If it's all letters, we'll put in here. If all letters, it must be cloud. And then we can do all of this stuff. So cut. Format here a little bit. And then we have, instead of cloud data, we want Metar field. Speaking of cloud data, I will have to show you all something pretty cool. Show you how to be cloud happy. So Pluralsight is getting cloud happy. Look at this. Come on, get cloud happy. This is pretty cool. You could sign up for free certification prep. So we have, with Pluralsight and a Cloud Guru, we have some free courses for preparing for certifications. There's plenty of details here on Pluralsight's Twitter page. But it's just really cool. Like you can pick a certification, say, I'm going to do that. And we have a free set of courses for you to get towards that. And they're starting level certifications. So they don't have a bunch of prerequisites. They don't have anything like, you don't have to have a ton of experience, but you can go and get some kind of cloud certificate. That's pretty cool. So I thought I'd mention that to everybody who's watching today. In case you were wanting to get certified and you've been putting it off, you can go to Pluralsight and take some free certification courses and get that certification. So pretty cool. So what we have in our little field here is if it is this, it must be clouds. So let's do cloud stuff with it. And I will include these two things in here. And I'll probably do a similar check to make sure that we have numbers here before we try to do number stuff. So maybe I'll just steal that exact same piece of regex wherever I found it from. And I don't see, so I think I could just make this 0 through 9. I'm just going to steal this entire thing here and say if it is, but instead of first 3, we're going to take the last 3. Let's just call it last 3. Oops. Var last 3. All right. So we'll do a substring on the last 3. Then we don't have to do the substring here. We don't have to run substring twice, and we'll just say 0 through 9. Oops, not A through 9, 0 through 9. So if it's numbers, then we'll do stuff with it. If not, then we won't. That'll prevent that error that we were getting earlier where it's like, I can't multiply this. It doesn't exist or whatever. So I think we're in a good spot now to run this, and we'll see how it breaks. And it did not break, surprisingly. However, we have multiple fields, so what we're going to do is keep using this function that we just made and see if we can't stack these values down here. I think we can do it. I think it'll be awesome. So to do that, where are we at here? We need to, I think we need to return something from this. Like we need to return a report type. So if, this is what we can do. Actually, our report type, this is just going to be string empty for now. Then we're going to say string. So what we're going to do is return that report type. That way we can switch on it and we say, yeah, it's a cloud type. Yeah, it's a cloud type. Because the report type that'll come back will say cloud. So we have this report type string empty. If it's a match, must be cloud. So we'll say report type cloud. And if all these, I think that'll work. Yeah, because then we'll just return empty if it's not. So down here at the very bottom, this is the end of our regex string. We'll just return report type. There we go. So we just added a little bit of functionality there that that I was thinking about. So decode Metar. We will go down here and say cloud cover. Actually, maybe that's not useful. So if I equals 4, get report type, maybe I'll just get the report type and then process it. That's what I need to do. So we'll say string report type equals get report type. And I'm going to take get report type, if regex, blah, blah, blah. And then the rest of this is going to be just getting cloud data. See, we're refactoring. We're fast refactoring in real time here. This is all we care about. If it's first 3 letters, must be a cloud type, kick it back as a report type. This one we can make another void. We'll call it store cloud report. String cloud report. Yeah, there we go. I think that'll work. Let's see why. We could still call this a Metar field because it still is a Metar field. So that would add a little bit of clarity. But we don't have our first 3 anymore, right? Because we still need to substring that again. First 3. Okay. Close that fine screen. Okay, so what we're going to do is get report type, then store cloud report. So we are up here, string report type, if report type is cloud, and this I'll probably store in an enum. If the report type is cloud, store cloud report with Metar data 4. Now, let's run it, see what breaks. Keeps popping up the screen over here. I want it over here. And nothing broke. We're still showing clouds view 900. Now we need to put this into number 5. This is where the magic's going to happen here. And I'm already thinking ahead, kind of like when you're playing pool or chess and you think a few moves ahead. I already know that I'm going to refactor this, but this is just kind of testing the theory. But I know I'm going to refactor this stuff here. So ideally, just to let everyone know, ideally what I want to do is just iterate through this, take each field into get report type, find out what kind of report it is, and store it properly, and then we can get rid of a ton of this stuff. But let's say number 5, store cloud report. I already know what's going to go wrong here. So I got to think about this a little bit. Yeah. Now it's view 2500. Completely overwrote the value. So we need to check to see if value exists, and if it does, append it. So I'll slow down a little bit for those of you watching in the chat room, because I just got to go fast. So what I did here is we'll comment this out. Actually, we'll comment this whole thing here. We'll pretend like this doesn't exist. There we go. It's all commented out. Now we go here, we'll push play. And we see few 900, right? But we know we have few 25 right behind it. We've got scattered 160, scattered 250. We know that these are here. So what I did was just copied this, you know. Whoops. I don't remember the uncomment. Command. Right this second. So what this is doing with the store cloud report, it's just storing the next field. It says the next field is view 25, and we'll just overwrite that. We don't want that. So we'll just go down here, and we have, instead of our Metar cloud cover equals, etc., we're going to cut that out. Let's see. Metar cloud cover. Oh, we're starting to overwrite that value way up here. So we need to put all of this in a field and then append it later. That's going to be the only way to do it. Var cloud cover data. Because we start right here. This is the very first point at which it goes back to our Metar object and overwrites those values, and we don't want to do that. Like this just immediately assigns scattered right over top of whatever the other one is. So we're going to say var cloud cover data, and we're just going to build everything into this cloud cover data, and then we'll check to see if anything on our object exists, and if it does, we'll append it. This saves us from doing this overriding stuff. So switch verse 3, we're going to say cloud cover data instead of our Metar cloud cover. And this is where the magic will happen. Data, cloud cover data. Now we have this cloud cover data with this here. And we can say if our Metar cloud cover length is greater than 0, we must have a value here. If not, then it's going to be cloud cover data. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Our Metar cloud cover equals cloud cover data. This one will say plus equals. We'll put a new line in there, which actually I don't think a new line will work. I think it's going to have to be a break in the HTML. All right, let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. Can't believe we're already at the top of the hour when I'm supposed to quit. It does not work because not set preference. Huh. Why would it even be null though? That's the question. Because we were just writing this, right? And store wind. Let's check store wind here really quick. And this is what we were doing earlier. Yeah. Our Metar. So it's probably null the very first time I hit it. So if it's null, we'll have to do that one first. So here's how we'll do it. If our metar cloud cover null, or our metar, actually no, I think it's only going to be null. We could do a length of 0 just for the heck of it. Or our metar cloud cover length. Well, no, because if it's null, I don't know. We'll try it. Length is less than, if it's null or the length is 0, then let's assign it a value. Else, it must have length and it must have some kind of value. And that's when we'll put in this one. I don't know why, but I'm not 100% solid on this checking just yet. But let's try it. Let's press play. There it is. Okay, so it's working as expected. However, we have this little break in here. Do I need to make those HTML entities? I don't know. I'm not sure what I need to put in here. Maybe I'll try it. I'll try a new line, see if a new line does it. What I want it to do. Basically, I just wanted to put it on a new line. So, HTML, new line, whatever it takes. But I'm pretty happy that this is working as we expect it to. So far, so good. Running super slow right now. Don't know why. View 200, view 2500. Find an HTML entity converter. HTML entities converter. Since I don't know this stuff like the back of my hand, I'm going to just try to do this. Oh, and there's something that I forgot to do really quick here. There we go. Okay, so now we've got the HTML entities in here. Let's see if that works. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't actually know. But pull this over here. Sometimes just hitting enter on this thing kind of speeds it up. It's like pressing an elevator button. Probably doesn't do anything, but feels like we're doing something, right? I'm not sure why this process is going so slow. This usually only happens when it's streaming. We don't have any breakpoints, right? So let's just turn it off and turn it on again. That worked. Oh, so let's just dump the HTML entities in there. Okay, well. How can I break that apart like I want to do? Oh, well, at least it's doing what we wanted it to do, right? So one of the things that I wanted it to do is I wanted to be able to go into this next field and say, oh, is this a cloud report? Then tack it onto the cloud report. Instead of overriding it, tack it on. Now, one problem that we're going to have is how many cloud reports we have. We could have 5 or 6 of them. I don't know. But we're going to add on some of these for our particular test case. And see, I'm doing a lot of DRY here. You know, don't repeat yourself. I'm repeating myself, which is why we're going to refactor this at a certain point. Probably not today. We're already over time, but. And check it out. We've got few 900, few 2500, scattered 16,000, scattered 25,000. Perfect. Ish. I really want line breaks in there, though. And it would be really cool to do that. We could do that with Razor. Let's do it. Since we've got this part working, this working as expected, as we wanted it to work. Oh, that's right. So if cloud cover CLR, we can probably take that out because we're no longer doing this check in here. We're doing it somewhere else. Last week, we did a little bit of logic in our Razor code also with variable wind direction. If it's variable, then it's variable winds, and if not, then it's this. So I kind of need to decide, like, do I do all my logic in one or the other? Do I do a split logic? I don't know. But if cloud cover is equal to CLR, then it's no visible cloud cover. Otherwise, this is our cloud. So what I'm going to do is we're going to change this a little bit. Change it up a bit. And I'm going to have to think about it. What exactly I am wanting to do here. So we could do, we could make this a list, right? Make it a list of values and just add to the list and then parse the list. So if we only have one, we only have one. If we have 10, we have 10, right? So that's how I think we should handle this. We should make, on our public class over here, our Metar CS, we should make it a list. Because I think that's probably the best way to do it. Cloud cover. Maybe just create a new list out of it. No, I'm just gonna, let's contain a non-null value. I mean, yeah, because it could be, we're gonna make that nullable because it could be, there could be 0 cloud data, we know that. So, yeah, we'll make it nullable, that's fine. Now we need to go in and refactor some of this stuff because as you can see, it's like, if it's null, still works. Length does not work anymore because it's now a list. See, so if it's null, then yeah, we're empty. Trying to think of how to do this. Probably, yeah. If cloud cover is equal to null, then Metar cloud cover. Add cloud cover data. So we'll just add the first one to the list. And we are going to need to deference of a possible null reference. That's fine for now. And I don't think we don't actually have to do a null check. We can just do an add to that. Because yeah, otherwise this one is going to be otherwise add. Let's see if our theory works. Possible null reference. So we do still need to check to make sure it's not null. Right? Well, it won't be null. We'll create a new list from it. Metar data. Or we'll put it in the constructor. That's what we'll do. So go back here in our Metar object, which has so far just been fields through the entire thing. But down here, say public Metar. No, I don't know what that I'm thinking. I'm confused. I've already been streaming for too long. Get wind direction, decode. Where were we? We were way down here. Dereference of a possible null reference. Let's just try it. Let's just see if we can break it. Yep, it's not even going to run. Operator cannot be tied. List. String. Well, where am I doing a string comparison? Oh, right there. So if it's kind of clear, then it's just going to... Actually, we could just say if cloud cover 0 is clear. Even though it's possibly null, let's try it again. It's probably going to be null. Probably going to break it. I'm going to turn it off and turn it on again. It's probably compiling. Just taking forever to compile. I don't know. Boom. There we go. This is easy enough to fix. Public list string. Cloud report equals our Metar cloud cover. Right, because our Metar's created right there. Oh, non-static field. field initializer cannot reference it. But I think we can just reference it directly. And do that on initialize. Like that. Then we should be able to do it. Our Metar cloud cover equals new list string I'm going to just pull this out of here for now, and we'll find another way to check that. And I'm going to text my wife really quick, who just called. There we go. And let's see if it breaks. And it did not. Perfect. So I think we might be able to, even though we're over time here, we're over the hour that I planned, I'm going to finish this out. I think we can now put our clouds in here the way I would like to. So clouds equals for our report in cloud cover. It's been a little while since I did any razor loop like this. I'm going to look it up really quick to make sure that I'm doing it properly. Daniel says, I'm waiting for Azure live content. That's definitely something that I'm going to do with this project, and then we're going to have other projects. I'm going to try to get some other folks from my team to start live streaming on here too. So we have a couple of folks on our team who are very cloud knowledgeable. So Matthias and Lars. So I'm going to campaign for them to get on here and do some cloud stuff. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Each report in our Metar cloud cover. And I think I'm just going to have to say if it's not null. We'll see. And then, yeah, that should for each through there. Let's see if it's going to force me to do a null check here. Nope. But that's what I was looking for right there. An ordered list that contains all of the values. That's what I was looking for. I forgot to put in the unordered list. So we're growing and changing here. Refactoring and making it better every single week. My IP, there's my IP. All right, there's my clouds. So we're making a lot of progress here. We've only got a couple more things to do here. However, I am still going to refactor this, as I said, and loop through these fields, check what kind of field they are, and do stuff with them based on that. But I am glad that we were able to get this. However, I'll show you, I'll probably be able to break it just by changing the airport. Change back to Hillsboro. This is where the variable fields thing might hose us. Oh, and see, it says no clouds below 12,000 feet. And then for some reason, there's an empty field there. So that is something I'll have to figure out. And my wind speed has been broken. My wind direction has been broken. So yeah, the variable fields thing is a little silly. And hello from Mexico City. All right. Very awesome. And it looks like I've been rated by Thindle with a party of 15 viewers. Welcome. That is awesome. Raid. That is pretty cool. Hello there. It's the first time we've ever been rated. That's pretty cool. Thank you so much to do that. And yes, that's what I'm up to, the airport weather parser. We've made a lot of progress on this thing today. And I just broke it again. So for those of you who are just coming in through the raid, I will show you what we're working on. The quick 2-minute explanation. We are working on something that parses a Metar string. Now, a Metar string is something that's given to airport pilots from airports. It's a weather report from airports, released every 55 minutes, and it's given to pilots who then they read it and they decipher this string of text right here. And so we are taking we're taking real Metar reports from local airports, parsing it out into a human readable format for our Blazor web page. That's also our What's My IP web page. And so we're just trying to grab some information. Some of these fields we've gotten pretty solid until today when I broke it again. But each of those fields in the Metar, where if I can find it here, corresponds to all of these things. So each of those fields means something. We're trying to parse it. We're parsing a real Metar message from different airports and trying to make it human readable and awesome. So we'll go back and make this thing right again by putting in KJFK. So I have some refactoring that I need to do to this thing. I've been just kind of doing the first draft stuff right now with a whole bunch of garbage. I think I'm about ready to refactor this thing and make it really smart. I think. There we go. Here's a correct report. Hello from Angola. Awesome. And yes, the code will be available on GitHub. I'm going to put it on GitHub today, as a matter of fact. And so the only thing you'll need to do is sign up for an API at this getwx.com. It's free. I'm just using a free account for this. It's like 2,000. And yeah, I'll put this up on GitHub and send it out. So I'm going to put it on my personal GitHub, which is github.com. Jeremy Morgan, maybe it's Jeremy C. Morgan. I don't know. Oh, it is Jeremy Morgan. So yeah, github.com/Jeremy Morgan. I'll have it up on there today and I'll keep working on it. So far with JFK specifically, we were able to get a bunch of cool data. Is the Humble Bundle a good idea? In the chat. It depends on the Humble Bundle. I've gotten a bunch of them. Just kind of depending on what it is. Literature and courses on there and never checking them. Yeah, me too. I bought a machine learning bundle a while back that I have never opened, but there are tons of literature items on there that I've purchased that I have used. So I think it's a good deal, and I tend to try to donate the most I can if they're doing a donate thing. But yeah, I think it's a good deal. But I also have Master Azure Software. Let me look at this really quick here. This is a humble bundle that apparently Pluralsight has put out. I was not aware of this. Oops. So yeah, I'm not aware of this particular bundle, but let me check it out here. So Master Azure by Pluralsight software bundle, pay at least $25 for these 20 items. Oh yeah, there's a lot of really good courses on here. Data literacy. Holy moly. Yeah, this looks like a pretty good deal. I mean, $25 for those, that's pretty good. And this supports Girls Who Code, which is an awesome organization. Fantastic organization. So yeah, I think this is pretty cool. Thanks for bringing it to my attention because I wasn't even aware of it. And Angelica says, how often do you do the stream? I do the stream once a week at this time, which is 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then my cohort, David Neal, does a stream on Thursday at the same time. And yes, then I did recognize the logo. So yeah, I do this every week. Next week I'll do it for sure. The week after, maybe not, because I'm having surgery. I don't know if I'm going to be up and lively, but I may do 2 streams this week to make up for it. I don't know yet. But I should be perfectly fine, but I can't make any promises. So one problem that we're running into here is the fields. So with JFK specifically, this works great because JFK has 4 of these cloud reports. And so what we did like 10 minutes ago, hello, James, right back at you. What I did like 10 minutes ago was we put this into a list. So if we have more than one cloud report, and I go through here and say, if number 5 is a cloud, store a cloud report. If number 6 is a cloud, and all those do is add it to a list. So one of the issues we're having is if it's not a cloud report, then what is it? Because when I go to a different one like this, so it works great with JFK with their multiple cloud reports. If I change it back to Hillsborough Airport, KHIO, we will see, it keeps opening over here and then I drag it over here. We will see no clouds below 12,000 feet. So then it just starts breaking these other things. Like it's just not doing well with it. So we're going to have to, actually we'll use KHIO as our example and we'll figure out what these fields are as we're going through them really quick. This will tell us what we need to do. What I think I need to do, what I keep saying is do this pattern matching. So, okay. So if we're at number 3, we are at number 3. Step forward a little bit here. Very weird. Why did that not work? I'm going to check EKCH here in just a second. So I don't know why my F10 isn't working, but oh, there we go. So we can look and say if Metar data 3 ends with SM, which it does, then our Metar visibility is going to be that substring. Perfect. And then this one, cloud cover. Let's see if it ended up being a report type of cloud. Get report type, Metar data 4. Number 4 is CLR. So technically it is a cloud report, but it's a cloud report with nothing in it. So CLR means clear, no clouds, nothing. Then we go to number 5, and you can probably already see by looking at our Metar fields, number 5 is 3013, and it's saying if it's a cloud report, then make it a cloud report. If not, then do nothing. So now we're doing nothing. So we're going to have to put that into our get report type. Now this data here is our altimeter data. Oh, one of the things I wanted to see was why the wind data looked funny. So number 2, KHIO actually is reporting 0000 knots. I thought that was a mistake. But yeah, it's actually, that is legit. There's 0 wind and 0 direction at Hillsborough. So I think I see another case, edge case here. Let's just copy this and let's make it a thing. Because that's yet another thing that I have not accounted for in here. Our wind, get wind direction. Now if you remember here, we're separating wind direction from speed, degrees and knots, and then store wind if wind data contains G. If it contains G, let's see, and if our temp string contains KT. So this is if we have gusts. This is if we have no gusts. This is where we want to put it. Wind data remove, length 32. So here we're going to say wind data if, so if it contains KT, if wind data is equal to, we can just match this wind speed and direction, cut. We're going to say wind speed and direction here. No measurable wind. Let's see if it's reflected here. I'll go back up here to this. I don't think I have any more breakpoints. Let's see, since we know, unless they change it instantly, which could change it. Wind speed, ND knots. Oh, so yeah, I'm only taking 2 of those. That's right, I'm only taking 2 characters out of the wind speed, so I could say 5 knots or 10 knots. 100 knots, whatever. So no measurable wind isn't going to work in here. Unless I do some stuff in Razor. This is one of the cool things about Razors. You know, you can shift and move a lot of your logic. So wind direction variable wings, otherwise wind direction, etc. If our Metar direction, VRB, gust null, where is that wind speed? Right here. So I'm going to say, if maybe I should just say if 0. Something like that. Which why? Oh, because it's a string. All right. Then we'll do no measurable wind. I'm just going to abbreviate that. No measurable wind. Here's how we're going to fix this all up. Wind speed, wind direction. Down here we have, if it's variable, then we say variable winds. Otherwise, we just show the wind direction. Here we're also going to have to check for this exact same thing because we're not going to have any direction. So if this, else, so if we declare it, or no, that's not the right one. That's wind speed. We'll just take this right here for each direction. That's what I was trying to do. Okay. If our meter wind speed equals measurable wind. Okay, that should work. So if there's no measurable wind, we're going to just put NMW. And if there's no measurable wind, then we're going to put that in instead of degrees. So go all the way down here to where I put that measurable in. If it's this, then now let's try it. And yeah, I'll check EKCH here in just a second and see what that looks like. And it looks like our still... That's interesting. So no measurable wind, KHIO, and it still tries to put in knots and degrees. Each far wind speed and direction. If it's 0, K knots. Let's make sure it's this if statement's catching it. I mean, it should be. Yeah. It's setting it. Store wind. What are we storing for wind? Number 2, 00 KT. Continue. And when it comes up, it's not showing up in the Razor. So in our Razor, if our Metar wind speed, let's put our breakpoint right there. Can we put it right there? There we go. All right. Our Metar wind speed. Let's check it. Wind speed is null. Hit F10. Let's see what wind speed is now. Still null. Interesting. Possibly not. the next one. My F keys aren't working very well, so I'm kind of... Where is the next one? Oh, wind speed and direction. Thank you, Dukasoft. That was correct. I was reading the wrong variable. Up here. So if wind speed and direction are no measurable wind, and then down here, if this wind speed and direction. Thank you very much, Dukasoft. That's awesome. Very cool. All right. And it's not broken, but it's not. Oh, there we go. I forgot about that breakpoint. Continue. Wind speed, no measurable wind. We've repeated that twice. Because I overwrote wind speed or wind direction with wind. Yeah. Yeah, what can I say? All right. So I'll fix that, and then we're good there. And then we need to just need to start refactoring some of this for these multiple fields. So we have wind speed, wind direction. And this one I should have changed to wind direction. Play it again. No measurable wind, which is good. We could remove it all together, but probably not. So I'm going to do a quick tech check here really quick. Yes, we're still streaming here. We're still streaming there. Very good. I've not checked LinkedIn, but I know we're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. Check LinkedIn here really quick. Sometimes I like to check to make sure that we're not leaving anybody out. Our live streams, which we appear to not be on LinkedIn. I think after an hour, LinkedIn boots you. See, that's another reason to, yeah. But it seems, there we go. Yeah, nope, it's up. Okay, awesome. 4 people here. Perfect. All right, 11 Line says, I love seeing Blazor though. Yeah, we're going to do a lot of Blazor stuff on here. I love Blazor. It's a lot of fun. This little page is a project that I've worked on to start, and I'm going to kind of dig into some sections of Blazor and some parts of Blazor and then think of ways that we can create stuff for this that will force us to learn that, you know, throw in some entity framework in there and some different things to try to figure it out. So right now we have no measurable wind. That one's good. What was that airport that I'm going to check out? EKCH. This one may not work at all, these foreign airports, but I just want to see what it comes up with. EKCH. I do not know where that airport is, but I'm certainly going to see here. Actually, this one reads pretty well. This is pretty similar to the United States code here, so we can see that the day of the month is the 30th. It is 1920 Zulu time. The wind at EKCH is 10 knots from 340 degrees. No clouds measured. Doesn't show visibility. Now, visibility is kind of different in other parts of the country because we use miles in the United States, unfortunately. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to use it for my hard-coded test cases that I have here. I have a bunch of these where I can hard-code them in here. So I'm going to put that in and use that as one of the airports that I check. EKCH. And you can see it's very similar to ESGJ. Ah, Copenhagen, Denmark. So my coworker would love it if we were using... the coworker that I'm trying to get to stream is from... Originally, he's from Denmark, so he would probably enjoy that. Lives in Australia now, but... And I'm trying to get him to do some streaming. He's just a very, very busy person. So, I'm going to just put in here Copenhagen. Okay. And yeah, I'm going to use this as a test because you can see the formatting is quite different between international and United States. They're kind of all over the place, but I want to put in some test cases and make it so that we can read from all of them. So it might be wild, but I think we can do it. So at this point, I've got the cloud thing figured out, right? Format my code really quick. Let's take a look at this. Sometimes I'm all over the map attention-wise, but I'm trying to stay focused enough. So we still need temp and dew point and altimeter. Those are two fairly important things. And I think for temp and dew point, we can definitely do pattern matching and say, if it looks like this, it's probably this. And I can see the temp and dew point right here. And so we could probably do an if match on that and say, if it's this, it's probably temp dew point. And I'm going to go back to KHIO, go back to my home airport. There we go. And see if I can see what data is coming through here for this last part. Once again, I'm doing a 2-hour stream instead of a 1-hour stream, but this is so fun that I have to do it. So I believe the temp and dew point is probably buried somewhere here. Olobunmi, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Can this training be downloadable? Sort of. Yeah, I mean, you could go to youtube.com and download all of our streams from there. I think that would be okay. We do have some courses on Blazor that are very in-depth and very awesome and very great that you could also download if you're curious about that. But this is all of the streams that I've done for this so far are downloaded to the Pluralsight YouTube channel. So thank you for asking that. This is free, will remain free till the end of time, or until we delete it off YouTube. One or the other. All right, so let's step through these and just see what our fields look like when we get down into this area. So we're at number 6, which is fine. Let's see what Metar data looks like. Number 6, A29.92. That is our altimeter. But even at number 5, 3013, that's our temp and dew point in Celsius, 30 and 13. So I need to check for that in number 5. If report type equals is how I'm going to do this. I can't type today. If our report type is temp dew point. then we will actually let's make one called store temp dew point with metar data 5. Now these are all things that I'm just making up here because we haven't created these methods yet. So store temp dew point does not exist. It will. Drop it down here. Get wind direction. We have store wind. Get wind direction. We have store cloud report. And we have get report type. This is the big one here, right? I'm going to say private void. Whoops. Store temp dew point. String metar field. And we'll use this to store our temp and our dew point when that time comes. Now we need to do another match here. If I'm going to see if I can do a regex match for this. I do not know regex very well, so I'm going to have to certainly Google it, but should be 0 through 9. Whoops. 0 through 9. And this is just the first 3 that we're doing, right? So we should take the whole metar field. And what kind of event? Oh, I do have a meeting coming up in 10 minutes, so we will have to cut this short. So let's just say metar field contains numbers, maybe? This might actually work. But we need to do... I'm going to have to go to a Regex Builder here really quick. Okay, A through Z, obviously not. 0 through 9, that matches 2. Always have to look up regex stuff, unless I do regex for a couple of days. Should be. I'm trying to remember what I need to put in there. Space, maybe. Unescaped forward slash. 0909. I think I have to do something wild like this. That looks like the regex that I need to use right there, right? 0 through 9, 0 through 9. Which now it's not showing it, which is weird. This one is one match. But why, when I put it over here, is it no match? That's interesting. Hello. All right, so I might have to mess with this regex a bit on our next one, but we'll see. It doesn't need to be a word necessarily. That's wild here. Get rid of that. Let's see if this works here. We'll step through this really quick, and then I'm going to have to sign off this stream in about 7 minutes. Temp. So what I'm trying to do is just gather it and use regex to see if it's a temp dew point. And then if it is, we'll do something different with it. That's basically what I'm doing here. This is probably going to break. Okay, first 3. Step forward, we don't care. Okay, it is not. First 3 is CLR. So that will be a cloud report. And then Metar field, which is CLR, is not temp dew point. So this is returning as a cloud. If a report type's cloud, do this. Now this will not be a cloud. And it looks like we're going to have to start over again. Because it kind of buzzed right by that. All right. Burst 3 is now CLR for this get report type, which is, I think we're doing number 4 right now. So our report type that we're returning is cloud. And that is for this one, number 4. So if it's cloud, store cloud report, we've got that. Now we're going to go to number 5. And it just skipped right over that. So that's a problem. I'm going to have to step into it. Go through here. We'll go through all this because we know this is a cloud, and that's fine. Now we're going to go here. And we're going to step into it. And it just goes right over it. Get report type. String report type. I'm not entirely sure why. Restart this over again. Just throw breakpoints in all over the place. I didn't like being restarted. All right. Here. Okay. Let's do get report type here. Step through, it's a cloud. We know it's a cloud, it's a store cloud. Next one just skips right over that. Doesn't even touch it. Why? Here, we'll stop. Run it again. And it's almost time to go, but we will be solving this problem most likely next week. All right. If I equals 5. So it is equal to 5, as far as we know. Nope, I is now 0. So it is completely skipping 5. That is interesting. I don't know. Next week. Maybe later this week. I thought about doing another stream this week. but for sure, next week I'm going to jump back into this, and I'm going to think about it a little bit. I'm going to kind of work over the problems that we've had in my brain and see if I can figure out some good, awesome solutions to it. But yeah. Let's raid Pluralsight. Well, thank you for the raid. I really appreciate that. That was really cool. Really awesome. Like I said, we haven't been raided before, so that was pretty awesome. If there's any suggestions on folks that we should raid, that's something that we're going to do as well. But yeah, this has been really cool, and I really appreciate everyone who's shown up. And we're going to keep working on this, and we're going to make this thing rock solid. Like, I'm going to make it into a class library. We're going to build unit tests on it someday. It'll be rock solid, and I'm going to release it open source so other people can use it, and yeah, it'll be pretty sweet. Yeah, sometimes raids don't go how you think they're going to go, and sometimes I jump out when I'm in a raid too, like, oh, no, not so much. So I don't take it personally. I appreciate the fact that you did that. That was cool. So just as a reminder to folks, there it is, that most of our streams will be on Pluralsight Live here. Whoops. I don't know why I talk when I do that thing, but yeah, most of our streams are going to be on Twitch, always. Twitch is the main place we stream. Sometimes YouTube, sometimes LinkedIn, sometimes different places. Sometimes those streams drop, but we're always on Twitch, so be sure to follow us. I'll show you again. Follow us on Pluralsight_live on Twitch. So thank you, everybody, for joining today. Thank you, all of you who have jumped in the chat and have been talking in the chat. It's been awesome. Thank you, Thindle, for rating us. And this has been awesome. So be sure to tune in to see David Neal on Thursday. He streams Thursdays at the same time. I stream on Tuesdays. He's got some cool stuff that he's building, this Electron app that is like a teleprompter, and it's pretty cool. How about Honest Dan Games? He's doing a game jam, and I think he'd enjoy a plural raid. Let's see here. All right. I'm going to try this. And we're going to go to Honest Dan Games. All right, thank you everybody for joining the live stream, and we will see you all next week, or hopefully this week, Thursday, hopefully, on All Hands on Tech Live. Thank you.